A familiar face is returning to the Lakers. That's right, the former free agent Dennis Schroder has signed a contract with the Los Angeles Lakers worth a whopping $2.64 million. The 29-year-old has had an interesting run, including some ups and downs with the team. But would his return mean good news for the Lakers? In today's video, we dive deep into the details about Dennis's return and more. Stay tuned. Starting off with Dennis's contract with the Lakers. One of the Lakers' few consistencies in recent years has been their willingness, if not outright eagerness, to sign former Lakers in free agency. Till now, they've re-signed Dwight Howard, Trevor Ariza, Wayne Ellington, Rajon Rondo, and others throughout last summer. We mean it's pretty evident what the franchise is trying to do, so it would only make sense to include Dennis Schroder's return in the same group. The 29-year-old point guard who'd been without a team until recently has been signed by the Los Angeles Lakers. According to Mark Bartelstein of Priority Sports, free agent guard Schroder is reportedly close to signing a one-year, $2.64 million contract to join the Los Angeles Lakers again. The sources, speaking to ESPN's Adrian Wojnarowski, claimed the Lakers general manager Rob Pelinka and new coach Darvin Ham recently contacted Russell Westbrook. They wanted to let him know they intended to sign a seasoned guard to the team's 14th roster spot. Previously, Schroder and Ham played 5 seasons together for the Atlanta Hawks. In a statement announcing the signing, Pelinka said, "We are extremely happy to welcome Dennis Schroder back to the Lakers." He added that not only do Dennis and Coach Ham have a shared history as coach-player together, but they both have a fiercely competitive toughness that's a reflection of one another. Let's look at how Schroder will contribute to the team. The 29-year-old is currently in the middle of his physical prime. The guard produced a season in line with his career averages despite completely mismanaging his contract situation, which led him to signing a cheap deal last season. He recently played in the Eurobasket tournament and appeared just as strong as he did in 2019-2020 when he placed second in the 6th Man of the Year voting. So it's not hard to see how this will turn out over the following year, given his familiarity with the team and its 2 stars, LeBron James and Anthony Davis. There's no doubt that Dennis will strengthen the Lakers' core at the guard position by adding depth and active defensive presence. He's a dependable scorer and playmaker as well. And after his incredibly successful run with his national team this offseason, Pelinka says, "We can't wait for Dennis to get to camp and start working in LA." Moving on to his average. In his 9 seasons in the NBA, Schroder has averaged 14.4 points and 4.7 assists and 2.9 rebounds in 586 regular season games. He's played for 4 teams during these 9 seasons, and 5 of those seasons were spent with the Atlanta Hawks. Schroder was an absolute gem of a player for the Lakers during his stint during the 2020-2021 season. He averaged 15.4 points and 5.8 assists per game. Even if there were moments of frustration and anxiety, we'd say he had quite a successful season. It was a pretty lucrative run with the team, and this is why he was offered an extension. But he unwisely declined a contract for an extension worth more than $80 million during the season. The team had just won the championship but couldn't retain the crown. The Phoenix Suns defeated them in the first round due to some injuries to LeBron James and Anthony Davis, as well as the players' poor chemistry. He later struck out in free agency, but then eventually settled for a $5.9 million one-year contract with the Boston Celtics. This time around, though, he isn't even coming back with the same level of anticipation and expectations as he did in 2019. Even though everything has seemed strange since his final game against the Suns as a Laker, statistically speaking, he has remained essentially the same player, not to mention his impressive average with other teams. Even with his alleged struggles in Boston and Houston last season, he averaged 0.7 points per game, which is less than his career average, all the while matching his assists per game and averaging slightly more points compared to his career averages. He had a higher effective field goal percentage than he did during his time in LA, or for his career, and his field goal and 3-point percentages were only tenths of a point apart. Schroder averaged 14.4 points and 4.2 assists in 29 minutes per game as a productive player for the Celtics, but he was then traded to the Houston Rockets in exchange for Daniel Theis. He only appeared in 15 games for the Rockets, so it's not surprising that the Lakers would be thrilled to sign him to a minimum contract. If he enters Los Angeles this time and replicates his performance from that 2020-2021 season with a little more consistency and 3-point shooting closer to the 38.5% he shot in Oklahoma City during the 2019-2020 season, he's gold. The news of his Lakers return was released shortly after Schroder and Germany's loss to Spain in the semifinal match of the 2022 Eurobasket tournament. Schroder was a crucial contributor to Germany's successful run that won them a bronze medal. He led all scorers with 30 points in the recent game. Let's look at his performance at the Eurobasket tournament. He has scored more than 20 points and dished out more than 5 assists in a Eurobasket game for the 11th time. It's a massive feat considering no player has achieved it more than 5 times since 1995. With 26 points on 7 of 10 field goal shooting, including 4 of 7 from 3-point range and 8 of 9 free throw shooting, 6 assists against 8 turnovers, 2 steals and a rebound, the 6'3" point guard was a key factor in Germany's 82-69 victory over Poland. Schroder's home country won a medal in a Eurobasket match for the first time since 2005. This is Germany's 3rd medal overall in Eurobasket history, according to Eurhoops. The group had previously won gold in 1993 and a silver medal in 2005. Schroder is definitely the kind of player the Lakers desperately need right now, someone who will play with a certain level of intensity every night. Although he has some weak points in his game, a little bit of effort can mask them. Schroder and Pat Bev are probably going to be the backbone and a constant source of intensity night in and night out for this team. He will likely win Ham over with his willingness to accept his role and perform small tasks. And depending on how the rust situation develops, he could end up being one of the first guards off the bench and even the starter. But all wasn't as perfect during his time at the Lakers either, though. In fact, that was a figurative crime scene in his career, not to mention the bad vibes surrounding his stint. Lakers is where Dennis experienced a major setback, and what followed was one of the oddest free agencies in recent history. With bad shooting and an inability to deliver consistent performances, Schröder may yet again experience problems if such a scenario, no matter how unlikely it is, occurs. Sure, playing well in Eurobasket is nothing to scoff at, but dominating Montenegro, Bosnia, and Herzegovina isn't exactly the same as beating the Clippers and the Suns. Thankfully, Darvin Ham also brings a fresh look. The question now is, will he be able to succeed under a new coach with a new system, even though he was successful under Frank Vogel? Guess only time will answer those questions. Moving on to some other related news now. First up, Thunder rookie on the sidelines after an injury. Chet Holmgren, a rookie with the Thunders, is going through the rehab process for the first time. While guarding LeBron James as he drove to the basket on a fast break during a Pro-Am game, the number 2 pick in the 2022 NBA draft sustained a right foot injury. After his surgery, the Thunders declared him unfit for the season. As the team begins training camp this week, Holmgren, a versatile 7-footer who had some standout performances during Summer League, is adjusting to being sidelined. He has left quite an impression on his teammates as well as fans even without practicing. Next up, Ime Udoka may never return to the NBA. He was removed from his position as coach of the Boston Celtics for the entire season when it was discovered that Ime Udoka had an affair with a member of the franchise. It was also claimed that his position as coach for the upcoming season wasn't in jeopardy, but things might be different now. According to reliable NBA sources, he's done, and his career could be in jeopardy. It remains to be seen how a rookie coach will steer the Celtics now. Finally, LeBron James is no longer in the top 5. The king has fallen. In fact, he's no longer on top or even in the top 5. LeBron James isn't among the top 5 NBA players heading into the upcoming season. James ranks number 6 on ESPN's list of the top 100 players in the league ahead of the 2022-2023 season. The Los Angeles Lakers player ranked 3rd on the list from the previous year. And that's a wrap for this video. What do you think about Schröder's return to the Lakers? Comment below and let us know. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more. See you in the next one.